the UV-6R. We're going to talk about it today. Hey, I'm Jim, KN4YCD, and this is FEPLabs Radio. Stay tuned. Alright guys, quick review. I just got this radio today. I ordered it from R&L the other day. They had these as their deal of the day. This is a Baofeng, however you say it. I call it Baofeng. Tomato. This is the UV-6R, not necessarily an unboxing video, but it is in the box and I have to unbox it. I kind of opened it a little bit earlier. We have a user manual and the actual radio itself, which I did put the battery in and took the plastic off of. And we have an antenna and a wall wart charger, a desktop charger that the wall wart plugs into. It is a lithium-ion battery and it takes 10 volts in and puts out 8.4 volts DC. And a belt clip and a stealth earbud and a strap. Always important to have a strap for your radio. So we're going to take a look at this. This is the Baofeng Professional FM transceiver UV-6R. So let's get it. Let me get it plugged in and turned on. I'm going to hook it up to a SWR meter and check power output on it as well. And then my plan is to hook it up to our tiny SA and take a look at the output frequencies. Alright.
Channel mode.
It's the same lady who does all the Baofeng announcements.
Frequency mode.
This also has a flashlight in it, I believe. Yeah. I don't know how awesome that is with all the lights on in here. I can't really tell. Oh, and it flashes. That's kind of awesome. So let me
1, 4, 6, 5, 2.
key in a frequency here.
0.
Guess I should probably read the instructions a second. I think that put the number in there.
Channel mode. Frequency mode.
Yeah, that did. So this is listed as a dual band transceiver, which 2 meter and 70 centimeter. It also is a commercial FM transceiver. And let me set the radio there. Commercial FM, it has a Vox function, it has an alarm function, 128 memory channels, 2 power settings, 5 watt and 1 watt, which we're going to test in just a minute. Light up display, programmable keyboard, it beeps if you want it to beep. It says it has dual watch and dual reception, which if that's the case, this would be awesome to use for satellite chasing, which is something I want to get into. I have an antenna for it. I haven't even put it together yet. And this would be a great little radio to hook up to the antenna for doing satellites with. Okay. And it does all the functions you'd expect every little dual band handheld to do. It also apparently goes out of band, and once I have it hooked up on the dummy load, we're going to see if it transmits out of band, because that's what it came up with, was 173.5, which I'm not sure what that is right off the top of my head, but I know it's not in the ham band. Belt clip, headset, charges, yada yada yada. It does not appear to charge via USB. That's for the headset. appears that's the only place you can charge it is by setting it in the charger. Because I don't see any other way to plug a cable into it. This does not, that doesn't open at all. That's just there to hold that on. So yeah, the only way you're going to be able to charge this is to plug this rascal into the desk charger. Which is fine. One thing I plan to do, and I'm going to do a video on it in the future, and I'll show you guys. I have some buck converters, and if you're like me, I hate keeping up with wall warts for these things. These are bad enough, but keeping up with 15 different wall warts and which one puts out 10 volts and which one puts out 5 volts or 7 volts. So my plan is to make a bunch of jumper cables with power poles on one end, go into a buck converter, and then set the output appropriate for whatever the desktop charger would be, so I can charge all this stuff off a 12 volt battery, off of my battery box or whatever, and not have to keep up with, you know, 15 different wall warts. Alright, we've got our power meter hooked up. This is a 50 watt rated dummy load. This was a kit from Rocket City, USA, I think. I'll find it and drop a link in the show notes. This is a Nisei SWR power meter, the RS40. And this goes up to 300 watts. It has 3 ranges, 15, 60, and, or excuse me, 200 watts, 15, 60, and 200. And then it does SWR and power. So I am on VHF right now. The radio is on 146.52, and I have the Franken adapters all set on. So let's see what we get when I key up, when I find the right button. All right. That looks like about 4 watts, not 5. Right at it. You can see right there, 5 would be straight up, and we're hitting 4 pretty solid. So let's change this over to low power, which I should be able to do through the menu. Yep. Low.
Confirm.
Okay. Now we're on low power, still on VHF. And let's key up, see what we got. And right at 1 watt. Right at it. Okay. That was VHF. Let's jump this over to 70 centimeters.
4, 4, 6, 0, 0. Menu.
And let's go to high power.
Power. Confirm.
Alright. 70 centimeter power. And that looks like about 3 watts on 70. Yep. Alright. So let's change our power to low.
Power. Confirm. Power. Confirm.
And let's see what we get on low power on 70 centimeters. It looks like just shy of 1 watt. So 4 watts, 1 watt, not exactly 5 watts. But you know, it's a Baofeng, so I'm not surprised. Still, the cost of this radio was about $25 or $30. It was the deal of the day on RNL the other day. And I haven't played with a Baofeng in a long time, so I decided to buy this one and tinker with it. And I'm definitely going to test and see if it does dual receive and dual watch. So that's not bad. Let's see what kind of SWR we're going to get. I will have to reset up the Franken adapters, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I've changed out the Franken adapter for us, and let's take a look at what our SWR looks like on UHF. This is the UHF call channel. Get that where it shows up in the camera really well. 1.4 is what that looks like. 1.4. So not bad, and keeping in mind that I have, you know, Franken adapter here. Alright, let's change to UHF.
1, 4, 6, 5, 2, 0. Menu, squelch, confirm.
And by the way, I'm in a metal building out in the county on low power. No one hears a thing I key up. But my bad, because I did not identify when I keyed up on UHF, so I'll fix that this time. KN4YCD, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Kilo November 4, Yankee Charlie Delta, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. So it barely deflects on VHF. That is interesting. Alright, so, you know, it's a $25 radio. It seems like it's built fairly well. Honestly, I had a Baofeng. I had the F8 HP when I got my ticket, which I got my license originally in September of 2019, so I haven't had a license but a couple of years. And compared to that original Baofeng I got, this actually feels solid. I mean, I wouldn't call this an ICOM or a Yaesu, but it doesn't feel like a bad little radio. The other thing we wanted to try was to see if this thing would transmit out of band. So let me hook up the dummy load and then back to it, and we'll check that out. All right, so here we go. Let's try 1.25.
2, 2, 0, 0, 0, cancel.
Ah, maybe it won't let us do it.
2, 2, 2, 0, 0, cancel.
Well, that's interesting. A Baofeng that honors things. Ha! All right. It does FM broadcast.
9, 2, 3, 0.
If you listen to broadcast FM, I don't. So the button changes. This button here on the side changes this from broadcast radio to back to amateur mode. Up and down changes our frequencies. There should be a way. There's our AB. So 173.5. It's definitely transmitting. It's putting out power. That's interesting. So 10 watts on 173.5 megahertz. I'm not sure what band that is.
4, 5, 3, 7, 6, 2,
Ah.
2, 2, 2, 2, cancel.
And it's transmitting up in the public safety band as well. Interesting. So Baofeng hasn't got everything locked out like they're supposed to. This radio, does it have an FCC sticker? No, it does not. You can see there it does not have an FCC ID at all, and of course that's the sticker on the battery. So this is not going to be type accepted. And it clearly says on the radio that it does transmit 135 to 174 and 400 to 520 megahertz. I was thinking somebody had told me this thing would transmit on the 220 band, but it doesn't appear to do that. It doesn't like that.
2, 2, 3, 0, 0, cancel.
Yeah, it's not going to do that. Huh, okay. All right, guys. Well, I mean, that's it. It's a $25 radio. I don't have a setup where I can test dual watch and dual receive out here in the shack, so I can't do that today. But for $25, this really feels solid. It's an SMA style connector on the radio, and it comes with you know, the standard issue SMA style rubber duck antenna. You have a flashlight here on the top, which is turned on by that button there, and then that flips you over to FM broadcast should you want to listen to FM broadcast. But this is not a bad radio to throw on a bike and keep in a saddlebag and not worry about it. And if it falls off or gets ripped off or gets sand in it, I don't think anyone's going to be too upset about it. As I said, the quality on it feels solid, honestly. And I gotta say, this feels about as solid as an ICOM 51A, which I have a 51A plus 2, and this feels comparable. It really does. The buttons seem solid. I believe this is IP6 rated, IP67 rated. Let's see in the specs if it says that. But with that rubberized keyboard on this, it almost has to have some water resistance to it. So I have one more test I want to do, and I'm going to get that set up, and we'll be right back. But honestly, I'm thinking for $25, this is a solid buy. You know, a beach radio, a road trip radio, a spare radio in your go bag. You know, I work in computers, and I have a bag I carry every day with, you know, a laptop and assorted cables and other accoutrements of the full-time IT nerd. And I've got a B-Tech in there, a DMR6X2, but this is not a bad radio. And I believe this also has weather on it as well. But let me hook up the Tiny SA and we'll take a look at it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to do a little quick test with the Tiny SA here. All right, this is my XTS 3000 Motorola, and it is a P25 VHF radio. So we're going to give this a shot on 146.4. I have a minus 30 dB dummy low or attenuator in here, so we're just eating all my signal, and we're set at 1 watt. And that's what our signal looks like with the Motorola XTS 3000 on 146.4. And that's a pretty clean looking signal. So let me hook the Baofeng back up and set it to this freak, and then let's take a comparison. Okay guys, here's the same test with the Baofeng on 146.4, and this is set to low power, and once again with the 30 dB attenuator. Let me get that to focus a little better. And that doesn't look terrible. That looks pretty close. Pretty close to the Baofeng. I mean to the Motorola. So not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, so that's pretty much it. This is the Baofeng UV-6R, and like I said, and I'll find a link and I'll post it in the description below. I got this from R&L, and I believe this is about $25 or $29. It's available on Amazon as well for about $36, I believe. But I like to try and support mom and pop ham radio stores, you know, when I can, as opposed to Amazon. I love the people at R&L. Outstanding shipping, outstanding customer service. and I cannot say enough about them, as well as mtcradio.com. I've dealt with both of them. I bought my ICOM 7610 from MTC Radio. But anyway, back to the subject. So this is, yeah, I have no problems with this radio. This is a nice little radio. If I had a person who was new to amateur radio, I would have no problem recommending this for their first official ham radio, so they could play around on the local repeaters. If you've got a brand new technician who doesn't know what to do to get into it and start using his amateur license, this is not a bad radio to start. And for $25 or $30, the cost of entry is low. Yes, you can spend $100 more or even a little less, and get you a Yaesu or an ICOM possibly, but 25 bucks is just walking around change for a lot of people. So that's it. That's all I've got for today. Really appreciate it, guys. If you would do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already, and make sure you ring the bell so you get notified when I drop any new videos. That's all I've got for today. 73, fellas. Have a good one.